Hey Shannon, how are you? Hey Squeaky, hey D, Dr. D, how are you? Ask you to share this out. Hey Gary, how are you? Thanks for joining. I'm good, I'm good. Today's a good day. Weather has finally broken a little bit. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Ask you to share this out with your peeps. I appreciate it. And let me back up a little bit. Too close. So thank you for hanging out with me. Happy Tuesday to everyone. Robin Devonish, the self-publishing maven, go-to girl for writing, publishing, and profitability. And thank you for tuning in for another segment of Book Talk. Normally on Mondays and Tuesdays, I interview individuals about their books, self-published books, but for some reason, I cannot get the share feature in terms of bringing people in on the screen. I'm not exactly sure why that is, but in the meantime, I guess I will come here and share some content, share what I know in terms of writing, publishing, and profitability. So today we are going to talk about 3 ways to gain more visibility online as an author. So we could call it 3 ways, we could call it 3 steps. But the thing is that, authors, they often say to me that they feel as if they're not getting enough visibility. I check my settings. I don't know what's wrong. I might be in Facebook jail and don't even know about it, right? That could be as well. Might be in Facebook jail. Who knows? But hey, Dr. Clack, how are you? We need to talk tomorrow. Hey, Miss Thelma, how are you? Thanks for joining. So, yes, we are going to talk about 3 ways to gain more visibility, 3 strategies, 3 ways, 3 steps. But just some things that you need to consider when you are looking to be more visible in terms of, hey, Naya, in terms of an author, right? And so, social media can be kind of tricky at times, right? Especially when you're an author. I think that a lot of authors, they make the mistake of, hey Jay, hey Rhonda, they make the mistake of thinking that they need to be on all social media outlets. And that's not necessarily true. Hey Miss Shaniqua, I guess, Book Talk, I guess, I can't understand why then again, I'm looking on my timeline and trying to see if other people are, doing their lives with people in their screen, and I haven't seen that either. So maybe they shut that down for now. I don't know. But either way, I haven't been able to do it. So I'm just going to share in the meantime. So like I was saying, social media can be, very tricky at times when you are an author. And I think that a lot of authors, they make the mistake in thinking that they need to be on all social media outlets. And you don't. You don't have to be on all social media outlets to be visible. That's what they think. They think that, if I'm not every place, I'm not visible enough, and that's not necessarily true. And so this brings me to my number 1 tip, or my number 1 way to gain more visibility on social media. And it's simply figuring out where you need to be. I think it's hard for you to be visible on social media if you're trying to be everywhere. You need to figure out as an author, where do you need to be? So I'm going to give you some examples, right? For instance, if you are a author for young people, If you're an author for young people, you're an empowerment speaker, you work with young people most of the time, it is quite possible that your place to be is not necessarily Facebook. It could be that your place to be is Snapchat, because that's where a lot of the young people are, right? If you are someone where you like to do a lot of writing and like to give a lot of content and like to share a lot of information in terms of your writing, maybe you like to, write a whole bunch of articles, or you like to write, just give good content and give good information. Maybe, hi Monica, maybe for your book, you shouldn't be on Snapchat. Maybe you should be on Twitter, because that's one of the places where people share a lot of their information, links to books, links to, their website, links to different types of content and so forth. And so maybe you need to be on Twitter. Or let's just say you are more of a inspirational type speaker. You have a book that's possibly a devotional. You are, someone that's a champion, and everything about you is a reference to empowerment and going to the next level. Maybe Instagram is your place to be, because you have Instagram stories. You have where you can share pictures and different things that you do, minute by minute. And all of that. So, Pastor Carrie, probably go back out and come back in. Go back out and come back in. So, maybe IG is the best place for you to be, right? Because they have the Instagram stories. They have where you can, share your pictures, where you can put your positive quotes and different things like that. And it's not to say that you can't connect it to another place, like, connecting. You probably have to come back in, because can y'all see me? Who can't see me? Who can't see me? If you can see me, put a number 5 in. If you can see me. I want to make sure that everybody can see me. If you can't see me, if more people can see me than can't, then you probably have to go out and come back in. Okay, so you can see me. Okay. Okay, you can see me. Okay. Okay. So for those of you who cannot see me, maybe you need to go out and come back in, because quite a bit of people can see me. Okay. So, like I was saying, you need to kind of figure out as an author where you need to be. Now, I'm going to tell you one thing, and I've learned this from my friend tour, Lucinda Cross. One place that every author should be for visibility on social media, everybody should have a YouTube channel. Everybody. Every author should have a YouTube channel. Now, what you're going to put on the YouTube channel, we would have to talk about that. But everyone should have a YouTube channel. The reason why is because YouTube is a search engine, and everyone looks for things on Google, and Google owns YouTube. So everybody should have a YouTube channel, right? So whether, you're sharing, some information, some quick tips, you're doing your quick videos. Like for me, I have Instagram, right? And what I do on Instagram is I come on Instagram and I do these quick author tips. I do them, they're under a minute, and I share a quick author tip. And so what I've been doing is I've been taking those quick author tips off of my phone, and I've been uploading them onto my YouTube channel. So if somebody searches for Robin Devonish, the self-publishing maven, right? My YouTube channel is most likely going to come up because I have content on that channel. Okay? So again, the first way for you to get gain that visibility that you're looking for as an author is you need to decide which social media outlet, one or two, or 3, depending on what your book is about, which one you need to be on. Some of y'all need to get off of Facebook and y'all need to be on LinkedIn. Because LinkedIn, there's a certain type of audience, especially depending on what you're talking about. If you're talking about careers and different things like that, maybe you need to be on LinkedIn, and you don't need to be on, maybe you need to be on LinkedIn, and you don't need to be on, Facebook, right? So that also says that you need to do your due diligence in terms of, where is my audience as an author, right? So I talked a little bit about Snapchat. I talked a little bit about IG. I talked a little bit about, LinkedIn. I talked a little bit about Twitter. So the question is, where do you need to be? So again, find the best social media outlets that you need to be on. Can you do videos on LinkedIn? Absolutely, you can now. They have that capability. Yep, you can. So find out where you need to be, okay? And then, of course, while you're there, you're going to make sure that you make those connections, that you're talking to people, that you're connecting, that you're, commenting on other people's things. So that's another way for you to be visible, is when you comment on other people's posts. Because they'll say, oh, you say something thought-provoking. They'll say, oh, okay, well, let me see who this person is. Maybe I'll follow them and start commenting on their stuff, right? So the thing is, it's a reciprocal effect. So you can't expect visibility and for people to follow you if you don't follow anybody and you're not commenting on their stuff as well, okay? So that's an extra nugget within the number 1, okay? So number two. Create a posting cycle. So remember, we're talking about 3 ways or 3 strategies or 3 steps to gain more visibility as an author online, right? So you need to create some type of posting cycle. And what I mean by that is, when are you going to go on social media? Maybe let's go back to the person who is the empowerment speaker. You're an empowerment speaker. You're all about positivity. So, maybe on Tuesdays, you want to give the Tuesday turn-up tip. The turn-up tip, meaning, turn it up, whatever the young people say or whatever. Hey, Nona, how are you? So whatever you want to do, but you need to have a consistency and a posting cycle for where people expect to see you online. And so you gain more visibility by way of the consistency, the information that you're sharing on a consistent basis, whatever, you may be talking about, whatever your topic is, right? So you want to, get lit Tuesdays, get it Tuesdays, don't say motivation Mondays. Everybody say that, right? I don't know, but just, get a posting cycle where people can consistently, hey, Jatia, hey, Kiwan, where people can consistently, they'll know that, okay, I'm going to look for my, empowerment tip. I'm going to look for this information. I'm going to look for that and from this particular person. And so that's how you gain more visibility, is you have a posting cycle and you also are consistent. You have to be consistent, right? So just to do a backtrack, for those of you who don't know me, I am Robin Devonish, the self-publishing maven, your go-to girl for writing, publishing, and profitability for your book. And today we are talking about, 3 ways, 3 strategies, 3 tips, whatever you want to call it, to gain more visibility online as an author. And so number 1, I shared, find the best social media outlets for your specific book, your specific message, whatever you're talking about. So you need to empowerment, I'm thinking in the AM 5 to 10. Yep, exactly. So you need to figure out, based on your book, based on your audience, based on who you're talking to, where should you be on social media? Because you can't be everywhere, and you don't have to be everywhere, right? I believe that if you focus on 2 or 3 outlets, you'll be consistent with those. People will follow you. You'll be visible. and all of that good stuff. But some of you, you're on way too many social media outlets, but one of them you definitely should be on is YouTube. Okay? So number 2, create a posting cycle. You want to make sure that you are consistent in terms of your posting, that you're picking that what's best, do what works best for you. But also, another way you can kind of figure out the best times to post is, if, let's just say for IG, if you have a business type of IG, right, is connected to your business, not personal, but you have a business IG based on your business name, they have analytics. So they could tell you the best time of when your audience is online, the best time of the people that, in terms of who you're talking to when they're online. You could create a posting cycle based on that. But you need to have some type of cycle. So for me, like I said before, I share these little author tips, right? And normally I do them every day. Every day, if not every day, at least 3 times a week, I'm on IG posting a quick author tip. And so people now, they look for my tips. They look for them. And even though they're under a minute, they're consistent. So people know that they could come to my page and they can get something from that. And so another thing that you need to think about doing, and so that moves me to number 3, is creating some type of theme in terms of your visibility. So when I talk about themes, I mean, what are your colors? And I'm sure you hear this on a regular basis, but what are your colors? What are your signature colors? What are your brand colors? What are your logo colors? Even as something as simple on IG, if you notice, some people, their IG is like, it looks perfect. It's like, they have pink, and then they have white, and then they have pink. And then, like they have a sort of like a checkerboard effect in terms of the theme of their page. And so another way to draw people to you as an author is if you have a theme. So let's just say your conversation is about love and romance, right? So what is the theme related to that? What are the colors that are related to that? To love and romance. So maybe on your IG, you can have, the color red is considered the color love. Hey, Yavelle, I'm going to call you back. So let's just say your colors are red, related to love. Possibly on your IG, you could create some type of theme. And so everything within the eye view of the person, it has something red, and then it may have something white, and then it may have something red, and then white again, and then red again. And it has this whole visual effect, right? Are these colors an option on meme apps? Yeah, they should be if you're creating your own meme, though. I'm not talking about a meme from someplace else. But you can do that as well. You can do that as well. You can create a theme from different quotes that you've gathered. And, you could kind of play with them. Hey, Latanya, you could kind of play with them, right? So another way to gain visibility as an author is when you have some type of theme. So you need to consider that. So what is your theme? I need you to think about that tonight. As you are, navigating through this whole thing of being an author, what is your theme? What is your theme? What's your colors? And another thing too, in terms of themes, you need to study colors, because depending on what your topic is, right? We know that blue, that's like the color of trust. Red is like fire. That's a power color. White is purity. So in terms of your theme, what colors are you picking, right? And so this is something that you could do on Instagram. This is something you could do on Facebook. This has to do with even what you put in your banners on your Facebook, on your Twitter, all of that. All of that needs to be consistent. Like it needs to have a certain eye flow, if that makes sense, right? So what are your themes? And when you could pick a theme, and when you can get consistent in terms of your posting cycle, what you're talking about, and when you can find the best social media outlets based on what you're talking about, because you can't be everywhere, then you'll gain the visibility that you're looking for as an author. And so this is another thing I want to share as well. As authors, don't buy followers. You want organic, authentic followers. People that are following you because they believe that you have something to share. People that are following you because you have great content. You don't want to buy followers. And I know that, certain places like IG and even Facebook, if you have, let's just say an author page or something like that, a lot of people are buying followers. But let me just tell you a little trick. Some people that have followers, you can tell if their followers are organic or not. And I'm going to tell you how. You could tell that they're organic because when they post something, right, they'll either have a lot of likes and a lot of comments. But let's just say this person has 50,000 followers and only 2 people comment. That means that, because it doesn't make any sense. Like, it doesn't add up. So if somebody has 50,000 followers, but only 2 people comment out of the 50,000 followers, 9 times out of 10, that person probably bought their followers. Especially, and also on Twitter as well. Like the retweets and, things like that. If people purchase followers, and you don't want to do that. So you want organic, authentic visibility. You want to be someone that's known to give good content, to do the work, to do what's necessary to reach your audience for you to, be this visible author. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Put a number 5 in if that makes sense. Okay? Put a number 5 in if that makes sense. Okay. So if you can't hear me, then you need to probably go out and come back in, Annette. So does anybody have any questions about what I've shared tonight? Does anybody have any questions about what I shared tonight? So tonight your assignment is to figure out, if you don't have one already, to figure out what your theme is. People like consistency. Your readers, your followers, they like consistency. You want to make sure that you're being consistent. You want to make sure that you have this posting cycle. When you're going to post, what you're going to post, right? And let's just say if you don't have the time to post on a regular basis, then you need to get some of those other tools that post for you, like Post Planner or Hootsuite, or, there's a various different ones that post for you. Right? And then again, you want to make sure that you're doing your research and figure out the best social media outlet for your book. So, close and open again. Oh, okay. You're telling her to close and open again. So if there's no questions, I'm going to get off here. I think that this was, quick and to the point. If you haven't shared already, I ask you to please share this out with someone. I'm sure that, they can use this information, especially if it's one of your fellow, author friends or something like that. You are very welcome, Miss Shaniqua. So does anybody have any questions before I hop off here? Thank you, Dr. Clack. Tomorrow we need to talk. Yeah, I know she couldn't hear me. Yeah. So does anybody have any questions? No? Going once. Going twice. Going 3 times. Going 4 times. Going 5 times. Going 6 times. So I guess you don't have any other questions. I will be back tomorrow with some other great information. So I thank you for tuning in. Robin Devonish here, the self-publishing maven, go-to girl for writing, publishing, and profitability for your book. I'll see you tomorrow for another segment of Book Talk. Thank you, Yavelle. Thank you, Dr. Clack. Thank you, Benilda. Thank y'all for tuning in. I love you to life. See you tomorrow.